Hi everyone, time for another breadcrumbs video. We're in 1 Chronicles 29, verses 1 through 22, and we're also crossing into a new book. So we've got new territory to press into, and that's going to be starting us into the book of 1 Kings. And we're in a transition of power. David's passing on his crown to ultimately it will be Solomon, but we have in 1 Kings chapter 1 a bit of a power play. David's son Adonijah, who is next in line after Absalom, is making a play for the throne. He has gone to Joab and to Abiathar the priest, and they are backing his claim. And then you have Bathsheba, the prophet Nathan, and the priest Zadok going to David and appealing to him to anoint and crown Solomon. And that's what David ends up doing. So you have transition of power. By the end of 1 Kings chapter 1, Solomon is crowned king and the people are rejoicing. But I want to back up and focus the breadcrumb today on 1 Chronicles 29 and really zero in on David's heart here. He has wanted to build God's house. He's wanted to establish the temple, and he's been acquiring materials to give to Solomon to complete this passion project that he has. And I just want to crunch some numbers with you about what would this temple be worth today. And I'm just looking at gold, silver, and bronze. And so there was a lot of other precious jewels that were given, obviously wood and iron. I haven't looked at any of that. This is just the gold, silver, and bronze. And so I'm looking at the scripture today. Between David's own treasury and the treasury of the leaders of Israel, there was 300 tons of gold given. There were 637 tons of silver given, and there were 675 tons of bronze given. And so when you convert that into ounces to today, what an ounce of gold, an ounce of silver, an ounce of bronze would be worth today, you're looking at roughly $15.5 billion project in terms of precious metals, which is just, when you stop and think about the magnitude and the value and the worth of what this building project is representing. What a building that David is amassing here. What a precious offering to the Lord. And so no wonder it's, this magnificent building in the ancient world that the Queen of Sheba is going to travel, to come and see Solomon here in a few chapters. She's so inspired. She's got to come and learn and come and listen to Solomon and his wisdom and in his beauty and in his glory. And we know, my whole point in bringing this up is just, ultimately, Jesus is the greater Solomon. Jesus is the greater David. And Scripture knows when he says, when he cleansed the temple, he says, zeal for my Father's house consumed me. And that's the same heart that beats in David. David wrote those words in the Psalms. Jesus is quoting them and prophetically fulfilling them when he cleanses the temple and he says, my house will be a house of prayer for all nations, but you've made it into a den of robbers and thieves. And so as we start here looking at the ultimate beginning point of the temple, how beautiful it is, how glorious it is, how that reflects the beauty and the glory and the majesty of God, and how this is a deep desire in the heart of David. This is a deep desire in the heart of Messiah. And what does that point to in the millennial kingdom? The majesty and the beauty of the new Jerusalem, the new heavens and the new earth. No wonder the Apostle Paul says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind can even conceive of what God has in terms of his plans for us as his people. And so I just we can read these numbers, 300 tons of gold, 637 tons of silver, and 675 tons of bronze. And those are numbers in our mind. But what did that actually look like? What did that actually, when you look at the skyline of Jerusalem in the ancient world, what would that temple have been like to have seen from a distance? And what does that say about David's heart and his love and devotion to God? And what does it say about God's beauty, majesty, and glory? So anyway, God bless you guys today. I hope it's a good breadcrumbs, and we're looking forward to diving more into 1 Kings as we go and get into the story of Solomon as David's story on earth is coming to a close. Have a great rest of your week.